Thanks for tuning in to The Real Deal Show, brought to you by ebodyboarding.com and Tribe Boards.
I know.
Look at this tech setup, Jay. Real Deal Podcast. We're here with Jay Reale. It's all happening.
Thank you.
We're going to have a great guest speaker today. His name is Jay Reale. We're interviewing him. And he's the owner of eBodyboarding. And he's been working at eBodyboarding for about 30 years. He started it with his wife, Vicky. And they work really hard. Jay, how is it to be on vacation here in the Gran Canaria?
Well, we're here on the Hub podcast, I have to say. So thank you for that introduction, Jeff. I think we're done. Thank you, folks. We'll see you next time. Subscribe and give us a thumbs up. All right. So I could have just kept going with that, but I thought maybe we should get to task here, and that is the task of introducing this man who you probably already know. I actually interviewed him a few years ago on Tavarua before I had the podcast, The Real Deal Show. And Jeff was with us on the very first Tavi Tube Tour, 2018.
Such good waves.
And we had great waves. You can search YouTube and find Jeff Hubbard Fiji and find some of his POV stuff from that trip. So yes, this is Jeff Hubbard. Let me say a formal hello to Jeff. We are sitting here at a place called El Agujero on Gran Canaria in the Canary Islands. We're here for the Fronton King event, which Jeff has competed in how many times now, Jeff?
Gosh, it's since its inception. 2010 was the inaugural first event they had out here, like a trial, kind of real, called the Wild Wild Wave, and then from there the next year was the Fronton King. Basically, 2011 and 2012 was a Fronton contest, not same organizers,
not called the Fronton King.
Not called the Fronton King, and then Fronton King name was in
2013, because this is the 10th edition.
2013, they had something. That was pretty awesome.
And how many wins for you at this event?
I've just won it the first year in 2010, and I was against that. I think it was just an invitation only with locals and the world champs or something. It was 24 of the top guys, and we battled it out. So I've just only won it once. I've made it to the semis maybe once, and the quarters a couple times. So a couple fifth places in first place. So it's, I love it here. It's such an amazing wave, and just the wave is the star of the show.
Yeah, right.
The wave is the star. It's just so insane and massive. We just kind of ride it and do our thing, but the wave is what really just draws everyone in and gets people's just attention. You can just mind surf. It's almost better to mind surf, because it's so gnarly. Some of the waves, you're just wow, this is cool. Pretend.
I feel like the only way this could be more of a perfect bodyboarding wave is if there was a sandy bottom. But then the wave wouldn't be like it is. So you got to give a little, you take a little. Have you ever taken a serious wipe out here at Fronton? Hit the bottom hard?
Yeah, hit the bottom hard for sure. I've hit, hit my back pretty hard. Hurt my back before out here. I mean, no, nothing broken, but pretty hard, bruised. Cut, scrapes for sure. Yeah, it's all happens out here. You're just, luckily, nothing.
Luckily,
you're broken.
And okay, so let's talk about that, because this is going to come out long after the event's over. I want to talk about the fact that you said you won this event back in 2010. You've suffered injuries here and elsewhere, of course.
Yeah.
And here you are. How old now, Jeff?
47 tomorrow.
47 tomorrow. Oh my gosh! I'm getting the first one to say happy birthday to Jeff Hubbard. Congratulations, man. 47. And you actually were a pro bodyboarder when I was still in the midst of my career
100%.
24 plus years ago. How do you do that? How do you stay at such an insanely high level of bodyboarding for a quarter of a century plus? How do you do it?
I think it's because I just love it so much, and I stretch and I surf a lot. I think it's the fact that I'm able to keep bodyboarding. I think that keeps you young, and the fact that I'm still entertained by it, and I'm still motivated. And I think it's with anything. I mean, you started your business, and then you started doing triathlons. It's not like
Right.
you didn't stop doing stuff.
Right.
Right? Like you did more rigorous work and harder stuff later.
Yes.
Like when you're older. So I mean, you're like, imagine if you're like put in that like work ethic when you're a bodyboarder.
Yes.
But actually, you're the hardest working bodyboarder I know. So I didn't.
I don't know
came
about
out of
that.
context. So you were, but like, you know what I mean? Like physically, like wow.
Yes.
Like he didn't. I don't know if you did through like training like that when you're boogie boarding.
No.
You worked the angles and did everything, and were a pro bodyboarder for so many amazing years. And I got to go on some cool trips with you. I think we went on at least.
Well, here's a trip, Jeff, that you may remember. We did.
East Coast.
Jeff and I both, we rode for BZ, and we went to the East Coast, and I was on a mission to eat pizza every day of the trip.
We did
But
it.
here was the coup de grace. We got on the flight home.
Pizza on the plane.
They served pizza on the plane. I have never before or since been
ever had
served pizza on a flight, but I got pizza on that flight. They actually, unbelievable.
We couldn't believe our luck. And I mean, we might have been looking for something else, but luckily on the East Coast, the pizza is that good.
It is good.
It's amazing.
It is good. So,
that was a memorable trip.
I probably needed an enema after that trip, all the cheese. But I digress. So, Jeff, you've been going for so many years at that high level, and your life has changed quite a bit. Obviously, here's something people don't know about you. You have a master's degree in business. Am I
Yes,
right?
I do.
From University of Hawaii.
Hawaii Pacific University.
Hawaii Pacific University.
Pacific,
okay.
yeah.
So, what was your undergrad degree in?
Business. So I got my undergrad in business, and then I got with marketing and management.
And all through that, you were competing at the level that you're competing and still doing this degree. Was it online? Is that how you pulled that off?
Some online, some in class, like a mixture of everything. And I think luckily at a certain stage, you're able to just. It didn't seem like there was as rigorous of a tour or something. I don't know why I was able to do it.
Yeah.
Because I was able to go to classes, at night classes, basically mostly afternoon or night classes.
Yep.
Online class, summer class, winter class. Like you take classes whenever you can. And so I mean I think I went back to school in I want to say,
like early 2000s?
Yeah, early 2000s.
Yep.
Then I would have graduated with the master's. It would have been in maybe 2007, 2000. Like so, it's another like 6 or 7 years.
Oh wow!
Right, like 6 or 7 years.
Yep.
Or maybe 2009, I graduated with the master's. So
Fantastic.
It was a while doing that. It took a while. Slow burn, but fine.
Yeah, for sure. So obviously that gave you the basis for starting your own brand, Hubbard's, which you and your brother own and operate, and you're still very involved in the day-to-day, despite the fact that you're traveling. I mean, I've been seeing you answer emails from our office here in the Canaries.
Yep.
Doesn't stop you. It never stops, right?
Doesn't stop. I mean, that's what the beauty of technology these days. I mean, who would have thought like you can be anywhere and just be working remotely, answering customers. I just checked my emails. Thought I was going to compete today, so on competition days, I just try not to answer my emails.
Okay,
and
good.
Then now contest is over today, so I was like, okay, I can check out the email.
And we have a lay day tomorrow for this event, so maybe you'll get a little more work time.
Get some more work time.
So, all right. So you just have such a great balance. It seems like in your life, you own a very successful bodyboard brand, Hubbard's, which we obviously sell. And I will put a link at the top to the page on our site where you can buy Hubbard's gear. And you are also a father. You have a young daughter, Jackie. And how old is she now?
She's 5. She's in kindergarten, first year in kindergarten.
Wow.
So, it's super fun.
And I've seen you out on the Hub inflatables with Jackie. She loves it, or what?
Loves it. Yeah. Oh yeah. She was giving me advice today for my heat. Like.
Oh really?
Oh yeah. Oh Dad, just you got to do this. Remember when we were on our wave and you went over it and we almost wiped out. Don't do that. This and that. So she was giving me the speech today, just going at it. She knows it. So
I love it, man.
Awesome.
That's so cool. Now, have you brought them to any of these events overseas, or are they just too busy at home?
No, I was able to bring Ingrid and Jackie to Arica, which was super fun.
Yeah.
We had a great trip to Arica, and then me and Jackie continued on to Iquique, and that was cool.
Just you and Jackie?
Just me and Jackie.
What do you do when you're in the water?
Oh, she was with with all the competitors. It's just
So you let this motley crew watch your daughter while you're out?
And luckily it was a women's event, so there's some
good.
Some of the girls, Tristan's girlfriend, and everyone.
Good,
so,
good.
Yeah, the girls
took care.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah,
That's fantastic.
That was great.
Wow. Now, do you find it difficult to be away from the family when you're in a place like this? I mean, we're here for something like 16 days straight if you go from beginning to end. Is it tough?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And it gets, the longer it goes, the tougher it gets.
Sure.
And that's, it's we'll see. I haven't done this in a while. So
do you struggle with it at all? I mean, or do you feel good? Like,
you feel, it's guilty. You're getting to surf. You're on vacation. Hey, we're usually at home working, and
yes,
we can surf when we deem necessary or when there's waves. But like here, we're kind of on vacation. You're working at the contest site, but then you're off.
Right, it's totally different. You're right. Yeah, I mean, I'm not in the office in front of the computer, so yeah, you do have that feeling a little bit guilty, even though Vicky and Ingrid probably are saying, "Oh no, this is what you do.
Yeah,
this is what makes your business what it is."
Yeah.
So they try to assuage your guilt, but it's always there in the back of your mind. But you know what? It seems like you found that balance, and I love that you've done that. I mean, how much longer can you continue at this level of riding? I mean, I heard that this is a rumor on the internet that you went to the Dominican Republic and had rubber ribs put in your chest. Because the way you land stuff, you shouldn't still be walking.
Ribs. I wonder if that's possible. I should look into that.
You shouldn't be walking the way you do airs. And I mean, is it really just the stretching that keeps you from getting injured on these?
I hope so. I mean, a lot of stretching and core work and just keeping the core. I mean, I feel like, I feel fine. I feel great. Feel like I can keep doing it. I mean, obviously, the family is kind of what keeps me from doing the whole tour. This is only my 4th event. I got to go to Walker Bay, which is great. So I did 2 events in Chile, took the family. Walker Bay, I was lucky enough to go
He won, by the way.
So I was lucky enough to go to South Africa and visit Cape Town. It's kind of a bucket list for me, and my wife's family was in town. So it was great that I had someone to help watch them there. But then now it's like Ingrid's home with Jackie alone. So that's a little rough.
Yes.
Home with the 5-year-old by yourself. You don't. It's not.
And she's got to do the school drop-offs every day.
Oh yeah, luckily she's in school, so that's great.
Yep.
So that helps
for sure.
Still,
is Ingrid working?
Yeah, she works from home. Luckily.
What does she do, if you don't mind?
She has shown lighting business, so they do lighting retrofits, energy kind of conservation. So they'll do a lot of restaurants and warehouses and go in there and change all the lights so it's more energy efficient.
And you guys live in Honolulu?
Eva Beach.
Eva Beach, okay. So you're ahead of all the traffic to the North Shore.
Oh yeah,
which is great. So if you need to get to the North Shore, you don't have to deal with all the Honolulu traffic. But if you go to Sandy's, you got to go right through, right?
Yeah, you got to pick your times.
So summertime is a little rough, probably. Coming home.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, so you got to time it to beat the traffic. Now, Dave's living over in Kauai still, right? Mm-hmm. With his wife Evelyn. We had a good chat recently about that, and so you both went to Eastern Europe. You found the loves of your life. How does that work out?
Cool.
Was there some?
Ingrid was already in Hawaii, so that was.
Got it. Okay, that was just
already there
by chance that you both happened to gravitate towards. Okay, got it.
Super cool. Super cool.
So let me ask you a couple. You've been asked every question, so let me ask you some off-the-wall stuff. What's your favorite food to eat, Jeff?
Oh, cookies. I think you'll know that. Chocolate
yes,
cookies.
That is a thing with you. Am I right?
Yeah, I'm a fan of that. I mean, I love it. All food.
Yes.
And lately Romanian food. My mother-in-law was in town and cooking up. They make some pretty cool meals.
Wow. Okay.
So that some of that stuff is just really delicious.
Hold on, now I love chocolate
pizza. Her homemade pizza, Jay.
Oh.
She just makes it's the best pizza on the planet. She just makes everything from scratch.
Game on, man. I do that too. I don't make the sauce or the cheese from scratch. I don't have a cow. But I make the dough.
Make the dough.
Okay, it's game on, Ingrid.
Yeah.
Game on. We're in the pizza game. Now the cookies, what's your favorite chocolate chip cookie? Any particular brand or mix or anything like that?
mom's are pretty good.
Okay.
You know, those are nice. They have a nice crispy kind of vibe. I like some. There's some ones from like the Cookie Corner. Those are pretty good. There's this place called the Cookie Corner.
My mouth is watering.
Pretty delicious. Those are hard. Those are kind of a lot of different types of cookies, and they're really tasty.
I literally have some Chips Ahoy back at the apartment in Sardinia if you ever get hungry. But I want to give you a little tip. This is totally off the rails here, but Arby's, I don't think they have them in Hawaii, but if you're ever on the mainland, Arby's has the best
Arby's is okay.
chocolate chip
I used to
cookies.
like Carl's Jr. ones. I thought used to be pretty good.
Okay, pretty good.
But Arby's is the call.
Arby's, phenomenal. They have this salted caramel chocolate chip cookie that's hot. They serve them hot.
Oh.
So yes, you tuned into the Real Deal show for chocolate chip cookie talk.
I think there's an Arby's in Hawaii, and now I want to go there.
If there is, you got to try it, dude. It's phenomenal. Okay, let's get back on topic here. So, Jeff Hubbard, successful business, successful bodyboarding career. Did I ask you, I mean, do you have an out for pro bodyboarding, or are you just playing it year by year? Like, you're just going to keep it going until it's not fun anymore?
I think that's the call. It's like, I mean, I like doing it, so why would I kind of stop? I'd be like, you know, it's like, I'm not doing it for any other reason but myself. So I'm like, well, if I'm still having fun and like I get to see my friends on tour, I mean, and see new people and go around the world if I want to, and take my family on places that I've been and share that with them. And I think once those experiences aren't fun anymore, then I would stop.
Okay.
And then I feel like bodyboarding, you know, if it ever stopped being fun, I wouldn't do it.
That's a good point. I mean, Kelly Slater, I think, is on the same page with you on that. He's, 50, and it's just, he keeps doing it because he's still
I like it.
having fun.
Yeah.
He loves doing it.
You know, I think, right, like if, you win an event, or like, it's not like the goal is to be world champ. Like, that's not the goal. The goal is just to have fun and enjoy yourself while you're, doing stuff that you love. And hey, there's a benefit because you get to go and, hey, showcase the brand, do brand promotion and do all that other stuff. But that's kind of like, it's secondary.
Sure. Now, do you travel with anyone in particular, or just by yourself usually?
I like to travel with Dave or Jared. The other, Hubbard's team guys. So that's, who I'd like to travel with. But otherwise, it's like, or my family. But any of the kind of guys on tour are just, really cool. There's just a bunch of them. I like hanging out with all these guys.
Yeah.
Ian, Robbie, Tanner.
Yep.
Maz, Pierre.
The youngsters.
Maz, Pierre. These guys, it's cool.
Okay.
Maz and Pierre are the old guys now on tour.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
the veterans.
I'm the super old guy. So I'm like,
well, I think they're very inspired by you, Jeff. You are definitely pushing the envelope in terms of age, which is fantastic. I mean, I see you out there in giant surf still at Pipeline charging. As you get older, do you find yourself changing your attitude towards big, heavy waves at all, or it's just you're still very comfortable in that kind of surf?
Definitely comfortable, but you also know, like, I think you get, after so long, you just know, like, hey, if I push it to a certain limit, the threshold for getting injured is much higher, and as you get older, it takes longer to recover, then I don't get to bodyboard. So you're just like,
so you're
like a
taking...
give and take. So you just have the line gets finer as the older you get. How you're gonna push it. I mean, I'm still gonna push it the level I feel comfortable with, and hey, sometimes that's pretty crazy and cool, and sometimes, I was just out surfing and I got some really great waves, but like I was paddling pretty slow and just cruising, and it was just like I wasn't in like a rush to get back out to the peak and get the best wave. Kind of like, I don't know, you get to be more relaxed, I guess, as you get older, since you've had so many sessions.
Okay.
You don't need as much. The drive, it's a different type of drive. You're doing it for fun and for physical, like, hey, I just want to go out and get a surf and get some exercise. There's that part of it too.
Yep.
To release, and so sometimes it's not so much like I need to go out there and I need to do the best move out there, against all these guys and show myself. And
you don't feel that. You don't feel that pressure anymore. Okay.
I do. I mean, when I surf, I'm like, hey, I want to go and do something that makes me happy. And so if I'm kind of feeling like, man, I want to get a big ramp and do it, like, yeah, I'm going to go do it. But if I'm
Yes.
not feeling it, it doesn't bother me.
And when you hit that ramp and you see that landing below you, do you cringe and go, this is going to hurt? Does that ever cross your mind?
If it gets to that point, I'd probably bail. Like if you like cringing, yeah, I'm bailing. Like that. If otherwise the cringe is on the takeoff, like, ooh, this could be kind of nuts. Okay, and then you go, and then you don't think and you just do it. And then, but if you're cringing in the air, you're just I might as well bail. Like,
okay.
There's nothing wrong with that.
So do you have a tip for our listeners and watchers how to boost those airs and land them? That's the key, is the landing, because I think a lot of people can get the speed and get up in the air. It's sticking that landing without injuring yourself that's the hard part. Any tips?
Yeah, I think it's trying to be, you're trying to be light on your board. You're trying to like kind of spread your weight out, keep the weight off one certain area.
Yeah.
Right? Like kind of, make sure, you're taking off, landing in a softer area as much as you can. Like, hey, if it's in the flats, slowing yourself down with your legs or your speed as you come down. Obviously not too much, but not too little.
Okay.
Making yourself so you can like brace for impact, and then, not tensing up too much where you're buckling yourself like joints, or smashing your face, but just enough, like, you're just, there's just enough to give and
like
take.
land like a cat.
Yeah, it's really like, you gotta be really gingerly.
This is much easier said than done. For this guy, easy, but for the average mortal, that landing, you're basically, your shoulders are like shock absorbers in your lower back.
Yeah.
And as Jeff mentioned, you're trying to put your feet down if you're going to land in the flats to sort of hit the water first and give you a tiny bit of cushion.
Yeah, and land on your, your diaphragm, landing on your core, your stomach instead of your ribs. Obviously, that's.
And there comes the core work you mentioned, where that comes into play. Injuries. What's the worst you've had? Name 2 bad injuries you've had bodyboarding.
Broken my foot. broken my back and ribs, one time, and broke my ribs a few times. Yeah.
It's from landing airs?
I think, it kind of pops rib, maybe landing airs and back from hitting the rocks, just like back and ribs hitting the rocks, and like hitting, I've had things hit me when I'm in the water, like surfboards or something.
Oh, sure.
Stuff like, so that has hurt. Yeah. Mostly, deep cuts, scars.
Yeah. What's the longest you were out of the water for an injury?
Well, when I broke my foot, I think it was like 3 months. I think it was like, let's take it back. It was like at least like 6 to 8 weeks with the boot on, and then once I could kind of hobble around with, I think I was swimming again in like 8, and then maybe back bodyboarding with one fin slowly in 2 months. I don't know, so 2 months, at least 2 months.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's tough to be out of the water that long. Are you in the water every day?
It depends. No, definitely not every day.
Okay.
I would say, hey, 3 to 4 times a week's good week.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd love to be in the water every day, just sometimes there's no waves.
Yeah.
And then the weekends come and it's kind of a family vibe, so weekends are pretty low ratio to get in the water, unless obviously it's just, hey honey, it's the swell of the year, which she hears all the time.
Oh my God. Oh, again, huh?
I heard that yesterday.
Another swell of the year.
No, it's different because this one has warm water, this one's got this.
We've all been there.
Yeah, so it's a never-ending one, but the weekend's usually not too much surfing, and then those weeks can surf while Jackie's in school if I get the work done, if there's waves.
Right. Okay, so where do you see yourself right now? You're about to turn 47 tomorrow. Yeah. Where do you see yourself at age 60?
Yeah, that's the question. 60,
where will you be?
That's it. And you're like, that's 13 years from now. What am I going to be doing? Am I still bodyboarding at Fronton?
That's the question.
I think, watching it and, there's like, maybe not. Maybe not at 60. I'm okay. I'm probably going to be okay not to surf Fronton at 60. It's super fun.
Yes.
At certain sizes, but like when it's big and gnarly, you're just like, hey, it's pushing. You push yourself, and you can push yourself to the limit, and you're still in physical like awareness and what you want to do. But I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe it's not going to be. Maybe that might not be fun at that age.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
well,
I don't know.
Okay, so here's my perspective. I'm going to be 59 in February, so I'm not too far away from 60. And I found that in recent years, I don't want this to be about me, I'm just going to touch on this quickly, but in recent years, I have a real aversion to battling with people for waves. That's number one.
Yeah.
I can't stand tight lineups where you have to wait your turn and battle. I don't like that at all. But the other part of it is I no longer want to surf waves that scare me. You know, I'm going to admit it right now, man. You know, some of my contemporaries, Mike Stewart is the first guy that comes to my mind. He's about almost a year older than me, still charging giant waves. I just don't have that desire anymore.
Yeah.
And it's different for everyone. I feel like someone like yourself, you certainly will have the ability to surf a wave like Fronton at a heavy size. So you may very well be that guy.
So maybe I'll still be out there, and maybe I'll still, I still feel like I'll be surfing pipeline at 60 for sure. And, you know, but I guess the fact was like, oh, I'm going to come travel to the Fronton when I'm 60 years old. That was the...
As the webcast guy.
Yeah, that, like...
Right, take my place.
Right. It's going to be...
no.
What if someone's going to do this? Who's going to do the job? Yeah, maybe. Why not? Why not?
Yes. Well, that's so cool, man.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, so we're on the eve of your 47th birthday. We're here in this absolutely beautiful place. The sun's going down.
Yeah.
We're without our wives and families. We should just hug each other. I'm just, just kidding.
Hug it out.
So Jeff, in closing, I'm going to let you go. I know we all probably want to go have some food and watch this giant code red swell that's pumping behind us. So, final thoughts. Anyone you want to thank? Any shout outs you want to give?
Yeah, I mean,
now's your chance.
Thanking just all the bodyboarders around the world just for being bodyboarders, and all the tribe. I think the tribe is so cool. All the, you know, the family, the community that is the bodyboarding world. It's just, thank you guys for being who we are. It's just really awesome. You know, I think it's a pretty special group, and we're really lucky to be able to be boogie boarders, you know, and spongers, and that's awesome. And I think I'm blessed to be able to do it, and I have so much fun doing it with everyone all around the world. You know, it's cool. It's cool. So thanks, you know, and obviously my wife and my family, and those guys have just always been wonderful to me.
Supportive.
So,
And you've been through every iteration of the World Tour, from the GOB to the IBA to the APB to now the IBC. You are, I think, the only one who has done all the World Tours consistently and are continuing to do it, which is phenomenal. So I'm so stoked to have had this time with Jeffrey Dean Hubbard, I'll say it now, the longest running high-level competitive professional bodyboarder that ever existed. You know, at the level that he's riding. And how many world titles under your belt? Only 3 so far. By the way, he's not done. This man is not done yet. Next year is another year. And who are you pulling for this year? We'll know by the time this airs, but you don't want to say. You better keep your mouth closed.
Keep my mouth shut.
No,
I got
you're friends with all these guys.
I'm just going to be stoked for whoever wins, and it's going to be awesome. You're going to see me smiling with the person who wins, for sure. Fantastic.
What's your best chance at a ranking this year? What are you looking at for your final ranking? What do you think? Top 8?
That's the goal.
Okay.
That's the goal.
Good for you, man. Well, Jeff, thank you for your time, brother. All right, so that is this episode of The Real Deal Show with Jeff Hubbard. I'm Jay Reale, and folks, if you like this, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Give us the thumbs up if you're listening on the podcast. I hope you enjoyed that. Throw down some comments for Jeff, and I'll make sure that he sees them. And folks, we'll see you in the surf. Later.